Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever in the world. Welcome to the fourth episode of our Off the Chain AMA Twitter Space. I'm your host, Kelechi Ibe from BitMart. Today's topic of discussion is the rise of NFTs, how digital ownership is revolutionizing business models. Today's Twitter Space will consist of four different sessions. Each speaker will bring a unique perspective on how NFTs are disrupting their respective industries. Um, our first session features Ivan Linn from Wavv, who will be discussing how NFTs will disrupt the music industry. The second session will feature Filo from Isekai Metaverse, discussing how NFTs are disrupting the anime, comics, games, and novels like ecosystem. The third session will feature like Chris Martin from Sator, discussing how NFTs are disrupting traditional TV and entertainment. And finally, Joshua and Leo from Synesis One will be discussing data crowdsourcing and AI and the roles NFT plays. So before we begin our sessions, we just want to remind our listeners that there will be a 500 USDT giveaway where 10 lucky winners will win 50 USDT each. We'll ask a quiz question after the first session is over, and the participants who get the question right will be selected at random and contacted within 72 hours to claim their prizes. Now, let's dive into NFTs and why they're such a hot topic in the current digital world. NFTs or non-fungible tokens, like most of you know, are digital assets that allow creators to verify ownership and authenticity. They're essentially transforming the way we think about ownership and value in the digital world, with various industries adopting NFTs as a new business model. Obviously, NFTs can take many forms. Most of you, know NFTs as being a PFP, a profile picture. But my personal favorite use cases for NFTs are their use as keys in Web3 PC games to unlock special doors or loot boxes, or in-game assets such as weapons or skins, or even a lifetime pass to your favorite event. These assets can be passed down through generations and sold to anyone in the world without any centralized intermediary. So there are definitely very different use cases for NFTs, but I'm not an expert here. That's why we have Ivan, Philo, Chris, Joshua, and Leo in today's AMA to tell us a little bit about how NFTs are disrupting their respective industry. So let's get to know our speakers a little bit. So could you share some information about yourself, your company, and how you became involved with NFTs? Let's start with Ivan.
Hi guys, good morning. Greetings from Singapore. It seems like time zones are shifting around and there's a lot of traveling going on. But thanks so much for having me. Name is Ivan Linn, CEO and founder of Web3 music platform Wavv. Previously a music director of Assassin's Creed Symphony. And as you know, Assassin's Creed now has become the very first video gaming music in the history of Grammy to have won this award. So we're seeing a lot of community-driven digital entertainment, interactive media going forward, try to do different things. And definitely the topic today, NFT is going to play a big role in it. We created Wavv out of the hope and the principle of empowering artists, and looking at music industry, which is still quite a lot of room to optimize this industry, and also to move forward with many new things. The way music business is being conducted is still quite old-fashioned and a little bit behind. So while we look at Web3, which is a way to empower creator economy, NFT is going to be playing a big role here. But when you look at the definition of NFT, it's been shifting quite a little bit, right? It was supposed to be a token where you would be able to own, you would be able to do transactions afterwards. But it seems in terms of utilities and also NFT gated events, these are some of the genres that we're looking into, because there are so many creative things that we'll be able to do. And applying to music creators and music communities, definitely we're looking at royalties being able to be traced back once the creator has taken so much time to produce and create something that's new. There's always a chance that this audio asset will be able to be rearranged, be reproduced, be recreated in many ways. And you definitely see how company would be able to shift towards a new way of creating music. And actually, we already are quite familiar with those mechanics. Look at how Justin Bieber and Shawn Mendes got to the market at a very early time, which is doing covers. So you see this kind of creativity between music communities and artists going forward. Previously there was not pretty much a way to trace back when the ownership of such music and audio asset that belongs to this artist. It wasn't easy to trace back. So that's why NFT will be able to provide a way to engage and to build the relationship between all the way back to the original creator, all the way to many layers of producers and what we call, which is doing covers or doing reproduction. So in terms of the way and mechanics that we'll be able to use NFTs, not only royalties, but also Clubhouse, fame base, it's another way to provide passes and also support between creators and their fans.
Yeah, that's definitely an interesting use case. Using NFTs as a pass and royalties is definitely a very exciting development when it comes to NFTs, because creators will get to, I guess, bypass a lot of middlemen to enjoy those royalties. Is that correct?
Exactly. We need to do this all together. As a matter of fact, the music that you guys have listened to before the session started was actually from one of our Wavv's artists, Hiva Mark II, who specified in electronic music and also is a very good DJ. And it's so surprising that when you really dig into it, there are so many pieces of music that you wouldn't be able to find on Apple Music or Spotify, where you can find elsewhere. And unfortunately, we sort of categorize them as independent artists. But there's always a bias in terms of definition of independent artists, independent music. But they're so talented and also commercially potential to be really successful.
Definitely. I completely agree with you. So I know when it comes to speaking about NFTs and music NFTs, I actually noticed like the Wavv music NFT launched on the BitMart NFT marketplace today. Can you tell us a little bit more about this particular NFT?
Right. For this one, I also would love to invite Kiva Mark II to be speaking a little about his music that was played during this session. So the NFT and the collab between Wavv and BitMart is that we're trying a few different things to really kick off NFT gated Clubhouse, and as well as how music and concert goers will be able to become part of the ownership to such incredible artists. So there are a few different ways to operate this, and there are few different ways to work with artists, right? One is that if the participation would be able to be extended towards the relationships between creators and consumers, peer-to-peer, which means these engagements are direct and not necessarily going through the middleman, then it will be creating conversations, comments, also promotions, marketing purpose, where their fans will be able to, by owning part of their future copyright and also part of the audio asset, this ownership is going to be creators and consumers will be growing together to provide feedback and also to make content even better. Because previously we were talking about music's being created in a studio in the control room, and it's pretty much a closed environment where producers are not necessarily being in touch with their audience, and the focus group, which we call like quite old-fashioned way of conducting this, has been quite limited. So the way that by owning a small portion of copyright to artists' audio asset and talented work, it actually creates a community where you will be able to be engaged with artists directly, and thoughts, feedback, comments can be made flawlessly in order to be a part of the conversation. And all of this is going to be creating many new great and creative work, because creativity is limitless, and with the interaction to your fans, to your crowds, it's going to be helping you being more inspired in terms of creating more new work.
Definitely. I think NFTs will kind of bridge that gap between creators and their fan base. Give that direct connection to them. Like as you said, to get some feedback from them on how to create better songs or better products, or just giving them like some kind of access pass to their concerts and events. I think those are all very solid use cases of NFTs. So I want to jump into the next question real quickly. Considering the competitive landscape and the competition in the music NFT space right now, which has been heating up pretty recently, what are the most unique features of Wavv in particular compared to other NFT platforms?
Well, so first of all, we don't necessarily see ourselves as a NFT platform. NFT is going to be part of the game, but the most important thing for us, and also the principle that we wanted to do, is to empower artists. What we see right now in the market is that there's a huge gap between Web3 community and Web2 community, right? It's almost as though in Web3 community, we sort of like close the door and try to do a lot of cool things and try to move forward. But the thing is that the mass public, and also from Web 2 and even Web 1 communities, they're quite confused about what Web3 music is about, what music NFT is about, and why do we want to own such NFTs and digital asset. So I think it's more important that there's this like new term that we need to be a little more of a Web 2.5, and in a way it makes sense, because we need to create and produce something that, whether it's users or it's the public, will be able to easy to access and easy to understand. And I think that's something that's sort of lacking in the field right now. So instead of doing like native NFT platform, Wavv opens to the public as a music hosting and streaming platform, because all of us wanted to come into, when it comes to music product, what you want to do is to listen to music, right? You don't want to, the first thing, the least thing that you want to do is to connect your wallet as the first step, and to go through a lot of complicated process, because they wanted to come in and listen to music. They wanted to come in to look for new music and new artists in order to be satisfied. So Wavv opens as a music platform, but the most important part behind is the infrastructure that will be able to provide music creators and music consumers to really provide this flawless user experience that music creators will be able to distribute, upload, publish their music directly, easily onto the platform without necessarily going through so many middlemen when music's being delivered to the consumer. So I think that's incredibly critical for us to move forward under such easy to access and lower bar user experience. I think that would be the next thing that we need to look into, which is to really open up to the community of Web2, and if they will be able to adopt such product that's so unique and different infrastructure. So there are pros and cons and different kind of voices, which is fine because we're being in this transitional period where we don't necessarily move forward in the faster speed, but developing and creating a easy to access product, that's our first priority. And we invite all the artists, music creators, please send us messages and reach out to us if you know any talented music creators that would be interested in join us, because we need to do this together with the music community.
Absolutely, I agree with everything you said there about creating a platform that is easy to use, that has a great user experience, because obviously the folks from the Web2 industry, they're used to a very very seamless experience with the likes of Spotify, Pandora, and so on. So user experience is definitely something that it should be a core focus for like the Web3 and Web 2.5 brands, like you said. So that's a point I really really agree with. So yeah, that's a very good point. I want to move to the kind of the last question here about revenue, because when it comes to NFTs, it's a very innovative space. But when it comes to the Web2, our Web2 counterparts, we already understand how they generate revenue. But when it comes to NFTs, there seems to be this confusion on how revenue is being generated. So what are some of the expected revenue sources for Wavv, for example?
Right. It's a good question, and it's been discussed for quite a while. So well, unfortunately, during the past few decades, it's becoming quite a behavior and hobby that we all think that, not all of us, but at least for the majority of people, would think, well, consuming music is becoming a complementary experience, which is not necessarily a good way to think about it, but it's what it is. You will be able to access music really easily. You will be accessing music pretty much anywhere, and even when you sit down dining in the restaurant, you don't necessarily know if the music being played as a background music actually would be paying back to the music creators. So all of those, if you dig into it, it's going to be it's really it's not a good thing. So I speak on this also as a music creator and a artist, a pianist myself. You look at the infrastructure and you realize that something isn't right, and you wanted to do it. And in terms of the revenue flow, the way that is being calculated and being circulated under such infrastructure is not going to be getting any better. So a few years ago, when we started to dig into NFTs and also what we called tokenomics, we started to see a hope and a way that maybe this mechanism will be able to be part of the solutions that we move forward to really benefit music creators. So we talk about tokens can be circulated within platform. We talked about a peer-to-peer support between music consumers and music creators, and if tokens can be purchased as future copyright from music creators, there would be the way that as a fan or as an audience, you will be able to subscribe to to their tokens by either financially or strategically supporting these artists. And when such transactions where flow happens, it's like a Web2 product, like a Patreon, like Kickstarter. You actually will be able to support content creators in a different ways. But for this case, the unit is token that will be circulated, and that will be helping artists cut down the cost. A lot of times when we talk about like expense for music productions, it's all because we have to book recording studios, we have to go through all the agencies, we have to talk to a bunch of middlemen and third parties in order to get there. But the thing is that if tokens will be able to circulate within a platform, then the relationships and engagements between creators and consumers can actually drive another way of creating economy. So that's pretty much the new way, actually generating more revenue through direct support and direct financial support between the creators and consumers.
Great. Thank you so much for that insights, Ivan. I definitely have learned a lot when it comes to the music industry and how NFT is definitely playing a role. So thank you for stopping by today. I know we're trying to get one of your team members to join in, but we're having some issues bringing them in. So maybe if during the space, if they're able to like jump in, we can still invite them to come speak. But unfortunately, now we'll be moving on to the next speaker at the moment. So thank you once again for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Awesome. All right. Actually, before we go to the next speaker, we just want to use this time to announce the quiz that we're doing. Basically, give you the questions. So remember, there will be 10 lucky winners that can win 50 USDT each if they get the question right, the answer right. So the question for today's AMA is, what is the official launch date of the BitMart NFT marketplace, and how many blockchains does it currently support? So if you can answer that question, you stand a chance to win 50 USDT. And to do that, there'll be a pinned tweet on this Twitter space where you can click on it and answer the question. Just follow the instruction there and provide the right answer, and you should enter for a chance to win 50 USDT. So next, let's welcome our next guest speaker, Filo from Isekai Metaverse. Filo, thanks for joining us today.
Hello, everyone. My name is Filo, and the founder of Isekai Metaverse. I'm very glad to be here today. So a little bit about myself. I was an artist before I devoted myself to Web3, and I'm still an artist now, since I consider my project a different kind of art creation. And one direction of my artwork is about art and blockchain. So I was fascinated by the possibility blockchain could bring, and began to curate exhibitions and make artworks about art and blockchain in Asia in 2018, which was one of the first in Asia. And in 2021, I decided to take a step further, not just getting involved in Web3 as a content creator, but also as a project leader, because I think the time is ready for blockchain, and especially NFTs, to make more changes to the creator economy. And I think the power of NFTs comes partly from the tech's inherent composability, and given that they're built upon smart contracts, and many smart contracts are designed to, work as building blocks, and they can be combined or stacked upon one another to create even richer application. So NFTs are considered to be culture Legos. But I think accurate because without license like the CC0, they're just culture Legos with strings tangled by IP laws. And I think even CC0 is not enough because works created upon CC0 IP are not necessarily to be CC0. So that's what we are doing now. So to truly ensure fairness for all parties involved in the creation of the especially the the community creation, and to prevent the Web2 giants from robbing the collective of the value of their contributions. So we need to take CC0 step further. So which means the derivative works of CC0 IP must also be distributed under CC0. So no one can ever build walls in Web3 world, and no one can take what belongs to the community's way. And so I started the project Isekai Metaverse in 2021, and it's a Web3 ACG and creator ecosystem, focusing on animation content creation. So yeah, that's here I am, and I'm a creator trying to change the creator economy.
Awesome, and I think you're doing an amazing job of doing that as well. So for those of us in the audience or who doesn't understand the meaning of ACGN, can you tell us what that actually means, and why you guys chose to focus on those four categories?
Okay, so ACGN refers to anime, comics, games, and novels. So originally it's a Japanese subgenre, subculture genre. Sorry. So when we talk about ACGN, there's four categories. We don't separate them, so it's a whole concept. So yeah, why we choose ACGN? Because we think ACGN, the essential spirit of that culture, is the same as the essence of Web3. The decentralization, the kind of open source. Yeah, so that's the reason we find it's very interesting. Yeah.
Great. So, like, because I was when I was going through your website, I found out that you guys have a DAO. Can you explain what the Isekai DAO, what role it plays in connecting Web3 and the traditional commercial world?
Yeah, sure. So first, I'm going to introduce a little bit more about our project, maybe, and also the meaning of the name of our project. So yeah, the name is Isekai Metaverse, and the Isekai is the Japanese translation of other world. It's also a genre of Japanese light novels, manga, anime, and video games, and in which ordinary people living on Earth are suddenly transferred or reincarnated into another world and start their adventures in this new world. And this is also our first subject of the platform. And our platform is a Web3, like I said, ACGN content distribution and creation platform. Based on the open source creator protocol, Isekai protocol, users can create various forms of derivative creations based on the original IP, and eventually forming an NFT content network between derivatives and originals. And we provide users with a creator platform and a visual novel maker. And users can upload derivative creations and explore content and trade NFTs on the platform, and use our visual novel maker to import illustrations, music, dubbings and scripts from the platform into the visual novel maker, and to create plot branches and complete visual novels. And our protocol is a content creator protocol, and it's based on open source consensus. And this protocol enables creators to create derivative creations based on original works, and it can be used for commercial purposes. But at the same time, the derivative creations need to be followed the same protocol. And when derivative creation realize gains and owners of NFTs used in this derivative creation can gain relevant profit through our on-chain royalty system. And our goal is to reshape the creator economy with this new protocol. So everyone has the freedom to use this IP for any purpose. And everyone has the freedom to study the IP and change it for any purpose. And everyone has the freedom to share the IP with others and share their modified versions of IPs. So yeah, the full freedom, if you know the GPL license for Linux, which means everyone can contribute to this IP, and no individual has complete control. So about Isekai DAO, the role of Isekai DAO is mainly responsible, for establishing the link between Web3 and Web2. And the Isekai DAO comprises three primary categories: the core team, the core contributors, and the NFT holders. And responsibilities of the DAO as follow: review, of the platform's content, and to choose who can use the launchpad, and to oversight the Web2 game publication, which means the visual novel publication of from our platform, and to select outstanding creators of our derivative creations. So yeah, that was my answer. Thank you.
Great. Thank you for providing that insight. I think a decentralized autonomous organization, aka DAO, I think it's a very important part of obviously NFTs and decentralization in general, because that's puts some power back to your users, to make decisions on the direction of Isekai. I think that's a very good addition that you guys have for your projects. So very, very interesting to see that. Next question I have for you is I noticed that you guys also are expected to list some of your NFTs on the BitMart NFT marketplace very soon. What should our listeners know about that upcoming listing?
Yeah, we will launch our first NFT collection very soon, and it's 5,555 Genesis NFTs collection, and it's made of thousands of unique Isekai theme full body drawings, and following our protocol. So we will invite our NFT holders and creators to participate in an alpha test of our platform. So creators can create derivatives upon the NFT we launch, or use them as materials or references in visual novel making. And NFT holders can have a derivative creation royalty fee from the visual novel published in the future. So yeah, stay tuned for our Genesis NFTs, and we will be releasing more information, like the sneak peek of NFT drawings very soon. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I know personally, I'm looking forward to it. I've seen your your artwork. I think it's amazing. So for our listeners, definitely check out Isekai whenever they launch on the BitMart NFT marketplace. I think this is a hidden gem project, as well as the Ivan music NFT as well. So great stuff there. I guess the final question is similar to what I asked Ivan about like revenue. Like how does Isekai generate revenue for for the project in general?
Yeah, so the expected revenue sources are as follows. So like NFT launch, game publication, community commission fee of NFT launchpad, and protocol fee. So we will invite other NFT projects to sell their NFTs on our platform, and we will take a commission fee on each launch. And we are a platform, and at the same time, we are also a content creator, and we will keep making more good quality NFT works. And they can be launched in our platform, or we launched in our on our partners platform like BitMart Launchpad. And NFT projects following the Isekai protocol can also join our ecosystem, to use our regional maker, to expand the narrative of their IPs. And we will take a small amount of protocol fee for this. And we also take a commission fee on each game publication. Like other game publishers, we will also engage some outstanding independent game producers to produce our own games. And their self-owned games will be an important revenue source, given the current thriving game market. And we believe our high autonomous community and will facilitate more and more creators to come up with great IPs. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for Filo for sharing all this valuable information with us today. It's definitely been a pleasure speaking with you about Isekai Metaverse. I'm very excited to see what you guys do in the future.
Yeah, thank you very much. Glad to to share all this with you guys.
Awesome. We can't wait. Thank you so much for stopping by. All right. I can see that Ivan, one of your teammates joined. Do you want to have them give us some more information about the music NFTs real quickly?
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much for doing this, because there was a little bit of technical issue that one of our artists wouldn't be able to join. But Kiva Mark II, who is now online and also the speaker here, you guys listened to his music prior to on the start of this AMA session, and I wanted to invite Kiva to speak a little more about the music that he created, and also why he is interested in Web3 and an NFT as an artist, so that we can all be communicated here. So Kiva, do you want to speak a little?
Yeah, sure. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Cool. So hi, this is Kiva Mark II, and I'm a music producer. I mainly produce electronic music with a style that leans towards IDM-based music, sci-fi, and cinematic. I've been playing music for over a decade, since I was 14. Music are basically my life, and I hope to connect with more like-minded people through my sounds. Yeah.
And guys,
Great.
actually, if you heard of his music before, he was the music director of the video game company Rayark, which produced video games such as Synesis and Demo. Those are like mobile rhythm game where you would hit the dot in order to get points. So it's a quite exciting and hyped kind of electronic music as to listen to prior to the start of the session. So please go support him. We need more of you guys to build this community together to make a music place a better community. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I actually enjoy the music. I think it's well done. And to our listeners, please go follow Ivan and his team to learn more about music NFTs and support their work. So thank you both for joining us today.
Thank you.
All right. So we're gonna move to the third session here. We have Chris Martin from Sator to help us understand how NFTs will disrupt traditional TV and entertainment. This is a very interesting topic. Hi, Chris. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, Kelechi. Thanks for having us. We really appreciate partnering with BitMart and being here with the community in such good company. We'll definitely be following Ivan, Linn, and Wavv, and Filo, and Isekai Metaverse. Those are very exciting projects. So thank you for including us today.
Absolutely. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, great. So tell us like what was the inspiration behind Sator, and talk to us about its plan to make Web3 TV a reality. Maybe talk to us about what Web3 TV even means.
Yeah, absolutely. Television is an extremely centralized industry. So we saw opportunity there to build the technology to help decentralize the value to all of the participants. As most of us are audiences and viewers of television, we all realize that we're creating a lot of value, which is only captured to date in a very centralized manner by streamers and broadcasters, shareholders. So we set out to build the infrastructure for global streaming television to expand to Web3. The global streaming television industry faces what we would identify as a scalability problem because they have very large slates of content, 10,000, 20,000 hours of television, or thousands of titles of feature films. And so while they are able to, say, organize an NFT drop, what those media executives are really facing is how do they design and implement Web3 distribution strategy at scale. And we are building for them a turnkey, scalable set of solutions that is bringing television from the big shift it had about 20 years ago or so into streaming and OTT, now into Metaverse and NFT supported video on demand. And specifically, that is the most exciting product currently under development. At Sator, we have already built and published a mobile app on Android and iOS, which you can download now, and you're able to watch content while also collecting NFTs through NFT in-app purchase of NFTs. So it means that non-crypto natives can easily collect NFTs while they're watching movie or TV content on our mobile app. And that is fed from our browser-based NFT marketplace, which is built on Solana. And currently, we are preparing to launch the streaming channel of Sator, which will use our mobile app as the blockchain verification layer to allow you as a viewer of television, instead of paying a subscription or watching ads, to simply own an NFT or stake tokens to access your streaming TV content. So when that happens, which will be late second quarter, that will really feel like Web3 TV has arrived, when you can have an NFT in your wallet and your television knows, and now you can watch and you can own a piece of the network effect you're creating by being a fan. So that's really what Web3 TV means to us. And it is our focus to make it a reality and provide the tools to the content rights owners industry as our enterprise customers, while providing the simple UI UX to the audience and fan. So Sator is a B2B2C technology platform.
This is very, very exciting. I'm glad you stopped by today to explain your platform in great detail. This sounds like a very revolutionary technology and product. And I was going to ask you how NFT plays a role in improving viewer engagement, but it seems like based on what you just explained, having the NFT, I guess, on your mobile phone, the viewer is able to engage with with the TV, and then kind of earn some revenue or split some revenue or something like that. Am I getting that right, or am I just completely missing the point?
Right. Yeah, you're getting it. It's just imagine when your favorite show started. Game of Thrones was very popular, and let's say instead of just throwing money away to a subscription to HBO every month, instead you were able to buy an NFT that unlocked your subscription. And then as the show gained popularity, because you're watching it and loving it and tweeting about it and telling people and watching the next season, your NFT would have, in theory, gained value over those seasons. And it's then you have options. You have an asset instead of just an expense where you spent X number of dollars on a subscription. And it turns out for the content owner, it's also very beneficial. They can realize similar or greater revenues by distributing using NFTs because there is a higher perceived value, because what we're all capturing together in this scenario is the network value around popular titles, which then goes away as that show sunsets and then a new show is spun up and a new fan base has to go and be engaged. And this allows those content rights holders to really hold on to that valuable network that they build by creating a popular title, so that when they launch perhaps a spin-off, they could maybe airdrop, and it just gives it's a healthier, more aligned economy for the viewers and the rights holders. Kind of some of the things that Filo and the previous speakers, and Ivan as well, were talking about, is you're really creating a healthier set of incentives in a community and a direct relationship between creators and fans.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I think you've briefly touched on this, but I would like for you to dig a little bit deeper about how the Sator platform benefits TV networks, producers, and distributors.
Of course, yes. We spend a lot of time at the global television markets, meeting with the broadcasters and the streamers. Sator is typically the only blockchain Web3 company that is at these global markets with all of the large streamers and distributors and production houses. So what they are excited about with Sator is that it is more than just a place to mint an NFT, that it is a place where their content can be distributed, can stream currently in the mobile app, whether it's an entire episode or a promotional trailer of a film, that they are able to find distribution. That's the business that they're in, is distribution and monetization. And they have figured out Web 2, and they know that they need to formulate and implement their strategy in Web 3, and they know that it is just gaining momentum. So it is a nice bullish sentiment. I can share, speaking to so many media executives, they're not price sensitive, and even while we're in a bear liquid crypto market, they aren't thinking about price volatility. They're just thinking about distribution. So it's nice to know that so much activity and volume is potentially shifting over on chain from these large global rights holders. That's good for the rest of us that do care about what the markets are doing. And so for them, they're looking at additive revenue. They have, again, huge slates of content, and they'd like to just find new sources of revenue, but those sources need to be scalable. So that's really what we focused on when building is, for instance, building on Solana so that it can be efficient and inexpensive to have these large volumes, potentially global television market size of volumes on the Sator platform, and that we can be a solution to a streaming network that has thousands of titles and tens of thousands of hours of content. So for them, it is the solution a lot of them are looking for, the partner that can help them figure out how to expand television and film experience for their viewers, and figure out their revenue strategy in Web3.
Awesome. I'm very, very impressed. It seems like you really know who, your ideal customer, and like both on the, I guess, the TV side and also to your NFT holders. So I'm very, very impressed to hear you give more details about that. Yeah, and also, impressed that, you guys are using, I think Solana, is very fast, I guess, it's a fast blockchain. So that's a very interesting choice that you guys, went with Solana. Very, very interesting.
Yeah.
I would like to go ahead. You want to say something?
Just going to add, we are native to Solana. The token is bridged to Ethereum, and we are developing other interoperability with some other chains as well. So just add.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. More like cross chain. That's the future. I totally agree. Totally agree. All right. I guess my next question is, you guys have a token, right? A SAO token.
Yes.
Yeah. Can you talk to us about the benefits of the SAO token to all the participants in the network?
Yeah, the Sator token is the native utility token used throughout the platform. It allows everyone that's participating in the Sator network to hold their pro rata share in the value of the network. We launched our beta product and token at the same time, so we're very focused always on building. And the token features now within the app, you can obviously use the token for all types of transactions on Sator. There's some really interesting utilities that are being added to the app. There is a play to earn game on the Android version of the app where all of the in-game NFTs and Sator tokens are obviously the prize within that play to earn game as well. And so the Sator token is used by the media companies, the enterprise customers, to stake the tokens in order to either activate their content on the network, but also promote their content on the network. So there's kind of both sides of the equation of the token economy. Yeah.
Very, very interesting. Very interesting. Wow. Okay. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, of course. We're just getting started. We've built a lot, and there is a lot under development now. And we look ahead to launching NFT supported video on demand this second quarter. And we expect a lot of growth and new users to the platform when that new product launches. So we're really excited, and we're excited to have a strategic alliance with BitMart as well.
Absolutely. And my final question is the same I posed to the other speakers so far. I think you've done an excellent job of explaining kind of the business side of things from I guess the B2B side, and also the B2C side, your token holders, how both parties benefit from the Sator platform. I guess my question is, how does Sator generate revenue all throughout this process?
Yeah, at the corporate side of Sator that is in charge of the R&D, the Sator platform has transaction fee is a small bite out of every transaction on the platform. Sator in-house NFT Studios also has a rev share with the TV and film titles on the platform. So if the titles have their ready-to-go NFT art, it's one level of rev share. If our in-house studios is helping, then it's a higher level of rev share. And then there's some engineering fees from the enterprise media clients, either activating content, if they're staking tokens, or if they're paying recurring or non-recurring engineering fees. And obviously the Sator corporate entity that is managing the mobile app has a close relationship with Sator Foundation. So we just continue to build utilities for the token. And probably the most interesting upcoming new utility for the token is related to the channel. When that launches, the NFT supported streaming channel, the base subscription is just staking Sator tokens. So think about it: when you subscribe to a streaming TV channel, there's a subscription fee, but sometimes you can also pay more to see a particular fight or movie. So the Sator channel base subscription is simply staking tokens. So that's pretty cool. You can stake crypto to watch your streaming TV channel. And then the NFT supported video on demand is for specific titles. So if we launch the next Fast and Furious on the channel, you would own a Fast and Furious NFT to unlock that movie if it's not part of the regular subscription. So that's really what we consider Web3 TV, is let me stake tokens or own an NFT and hold in my wallet some of the value that I create by adding to the network effect of a TV channel or a movie, right? That is the way that television and film can be with Web3 applied to it. That's the potential that we're working on building.
Absolutely. That's yeah. I can tell you I'll be a customer once you guys fully launch, because yeah, to your point, the consumers in most part for the most part are creating the a lot of the value. Obviously, the TV networks are creating the value as well by creating the program, but viewership, like social media interaction, recommendations, and all that stuff. Through an NFT, you can accrue value as an end consumer, and I think that's the beauty of NFTs, and how I think, or how we think it will revolutionize a lot of business models in the future.
Yeah, customer. I was thinking more talk show host. You could be primetime.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Well, Chris, thank you so much for taking the time today to share the project with us. Your insight and knowledge has been really, really appreciated today. So thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Great, thank you for stopping by, and we will move to the next and final session for today's AMA. So let's welcome our next guest speakers. Joshua and Leo from Synesis One. Welcome, Joshua and Leo. Are you guys still there? Great to have you here.
We're here. Thanks for having us here. Josh, our co-founder, is with me here as well. And I just wanted to say I love Chris's explanation of their project, like tackling the centralized TV industry, building the infrastructure to decentralize the space, and distributing the economics of it. I think I found it super interesting because at Synesis One, we're kind of doing the same thing, but for the AI industry. So to give a quick overview, Synesis One is a platform that helps AI companies collect data to power their AI applications. So all these AI companies you're hearing about, ChatGPT, DALL-E, Midjourney, those note-taking apps or chatbots, they all need raw data or data processing services to feed their AI engine, right? And
Right.
they can crowdsource this data on our platform. So in a simplified overview, AI companies of any size can set up simple tasks on our platform to collect or process the raw data. Our users can complete these tasks, and users then get paid for tasks that get approved by the client. And then the client purchases this high quality crowdsourced data to build their AI applications. And the main mission here is to give everyone around the world the opportunity to train AI, to be part of this booming multi-billion dollar AI industry and earn crypto along the way. So yeah, that's the overview of the project. Josh, did I miss anything?
Joshua, are you here with us? Let's see if Joshua is still. Let's see. I think I don't see Joshua.
Oh, he's asking, is there an unmute button on your side? Because I think he's speaking, but no one's hearing him.
Let me try to add him again real quickly.
Oh, Josh, make sure that your mic is on. Like there's a button on the left, lower left.
Let me see. One moment. Okay, I just invited Joshua to speak. Joshua, are you there?
Oh, this is unfortunate. I think we're having technical difficulties, but yeah.
Okay. I think till while we wait for Joshua to jump in, I can go on and ask you a few more questions. Is that okay?
Yep, let's do it.
Yeah. So you've given a very good brief overview about what you guys do. I'm curious to learn about, and I'm sure the audience is too, like what role does the NFT actually play in your project?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep. We have Josh now. Hi, Josh. We can hear you.
Hey guys, I'm really sorry. I don't know what happened. I got like on and off a couple of times, and then I lost my position as a speaker. So but nonetheless, I'm here. So I think the question is what first of all, Leo, you did a great job describing our project, and I think the second question, Mr. Host, you kind of mentioned that the utility of the NFT. Perhaps I could. So can you repeat the question one more time, please?
Yeah. I was just stating how Leo did an excellent job giving us a brief overview about Synesis One and what you guys do. You feel free to throw more lights on that, but I was asking what role does an NFT play in your entire ecosystem?
Yeah. So okay. So first of all, we are Solana native project, and we have been technically building our entire system for I think pretty close to 2 years at this point. So and we have been around. And just so you know, our token is already listed on BitMart. So it's SNS token. So if you guys want to accumulate some of those tokens, feel free to buy them. I think it's a great value right now. We also have a second a token, which is an NFT. We call that Canon. And perhaps I could sort of explain Canon as an entry to explain to you, or maybe further explain what our ecosystem is all about. So the Canon works as a membership. So if you want to join our ecosystem to train AI and earn crypto, which is SNS, you must have a Canon. You stake it, or you keep it in your wallet and you stake it, and then that's how you begin your earnings process. So, and like what people may not know about AI is that the AI isn't completely automatic, meaning all the best AIs out there, for example, ChatGPT, OpenAI, or there are so many garden variety of, the AI systems out there. All of them, when I say all, 100% of those AIs need human involvement. And what that means is that what powers AI is actually data. And this data often are not perfect. So when you feed this data into AI system, you need to have some humans to either cleanse them, process them, annotate, index them, categorize them. There's lots of human labor involved in order to put the data into the format that AIs can understand. And this industry, and let's just say it's a AI data supply chain industry. This industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry already in the Web 2 environment. For example, Scale.ai, it's almost $10 billion company. Clickworker.com out in Germany, they got about 2.5 million people training AI. There's a Mechanical Turk, some of you already know, it's a part of Amazon that have been training Alexa as we know it. They have pretty close to about 500,000 people for the past 10 years training Alexa and other projects out there. So this industry has been growing rapidly, and it's very large. But a lot of public doesn't know about this. So what Synesis One is that we take that concept, the AI data supply chain model, and put it onto blockchain. And then we used the most high performant blockchain out there, Solana, as a baseline layer. And then we built this whole data aggregation or crowdsourcing application on top. And then all of our codes are not something that we forked from some kind of GitHub out there, but it's 100% written from ground up because there's no other project like us on Web3, especially in Solana. We're the very first project. And then we are supplying this data as we speak. So system is at this point live as an open beta. We have many hundreds of beta testers. They have been training our AI and then have been already collecting our SNS token. Some of them are making a couple $100 a week. So we expect that, many of our, let's say these digital workers, hope to make their earnings just by training our AI. And so that's basically the idea. And our two token system, our governance token SNS, and then our NFT work symbiotically, where in order to begin your work, you need Canon. But when you earn your crypto based on how much work that you put in to train AI, you earn that in SNS. And our token is listed on BitMart. Actually, our Canon is also listed on BitMart as well.
Right. That's very exciting. That's very exciting.
Yeah.
You got me to be a little bit bullish for your project there. Just explaining the use cases. Obviously, we're not offering any financial advice here. But yeah, definitely, I can see how this can be very, very valuable. For I guess, hey, you might even get some people who work for Amazon and these big companies, even like OpenAI to come, work, get some, provide some data to you guys and earn some revenue while they're doing so.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, totally.
That's very, very cool. Very, very cool. Yeah. Thank you for explaining that to us.
Sure.
So, can you talk to us about how the interaction between like contributors, traders, and consumers drive Synesis One as a public data utility? Like, what's that relationship like?
Yeah, so it's a pretty mouthful, right? We got like these contributors and traders and then data utility and all that stuff. Like, so let me just kind of break it down and then put it into very kind of layman's terms. So when we let's say collect this AI data, these AI data are actually paid for by AI companies out there. So when we distribute our payouts, these payouts are real money, meaning AI companies buying our SNS in the public market, and then they pay this SNS token to get this AI data being crowdsourced. But in order to get quality AI data, we created this gamified ecosystem where we call builders and then validators and architect. These are the three different roles. They compete, they collaborate, they commune to basically distill data to the exact specification that AI companies want. So for example, let's say the one example is you may have this image, and then depending on how you look at it, a certain image may look like a certain animal, or maybe it could be something else. And if the image is blurred, then it's very difficult for a regular person. So what you do is that you rely on wisdom of the crowd. So you got multiple people look at the photo and say, you know what, that is probably a dog. Or some may say, you know, that looks like more like a cat. But if more than, let's say, 70% of the people are saying it's dog, probably it's a dog, right? So that's the approach that we take. We take statistics, and then we give these assignment to initially builders who's gonna use our mobile app to simply look at our very first the AI gathering system is actually conversational AI. So it's more like expressing the certain or rephrasing certain a statement in slightly different sentence structure. So you keep doing that, and then there's a validator who actually pass exam as a builder and then gain the experience. And if they qualify, then they get to actually validate all the inputs submitted by the builders. So builders and validators work together, but they are actually also they're kind of competing in a way, because validators are the ones who are validating, but the builders have to kind of submit, and then they need validators validation. We also have an architect who works directly with the AI companies and then take their request and turn it into the assignment within our ecosystem. And then these architects are the ones who ultimately approve the payout. Let's say Mind AI, our first client, they committed 400,000 US dollars to get a couple million these natural language based ontologies. And these $400,000 budget can be broken into many hundreds of different campaigns. And these campaigns are essentially designed by our architects, and then they work closely with the validators and builders to distill this data so that the Mind AI is willing to pay for. So that's the kind of gist of what we're trying to do. And all of those participants, builders and validators and architects, they all need Canon NFT as an entry membership card in order to participate.
Right, that makes a lot of sense. That's where the NFT part comes in. It's like a membership to be able to participate in the network. Like to your point, to validate, to do all that work, you need the NFT kind of as a gateway to be a part of the system.
Exactly. So, and then this NFT is also crypto asset that has a active income generation power, also passive income generation power. What I mean by that is, if you use it as a membership, then you stake it and then you start working, you're earning SNS. That's an active income. And there's another component called passive income. You don't have to do anything. Just by holding on to your Canon, you actually generate residual income coming from our network. And the way it works is that we have this this data utility that we're building, and then every NFT, Canon NFT, represents a single word. It is a unique word. This word could be mountain or love or train or what have you. And every time that particular word is being used by our AI companies, you get points, and these points are converted into SNS. And then you actually receive this SNS as a residual income. But it's really based on how frequently your word is being used. So there's that sort of gamification component. And so you can find more when you come to our website. But we created this NFT as more of almost like a sort of DeFi crypto asset that generates two different revenue streams. So you do want to hold on to it and use it as a membership, but also you want to trade them because it has a different expected future earnings capability. Like the word love may be more popular than, let's say, the word systematic. Because love could be utilized a lot more frequently. So that's the idea.
Right. Great. Thanks for explaining that to us. I think that's a very, very innovative use case of NFTs. Definitely want to check out. I guess finally, I would like to ask you, because I think you've done a great job actually explaining this a little bit, but you've explained how the NFT benefits the validators and the architects and even the companies that request for this data. But how does like Synesis One, how do you guys actually generate revenue for your company?
Yeah, so we generate revenue by charging AI companies that wants to use Synesis One ecosystem as a way to aggregate their own data. So the way it
Right.
works is sort of like, like imagine there's a pool that Mind AI injects, and that money that it injects will be paid out to our workers. What we usually do is us, the platform or the protocol, we take a certain percentage of that overall budget that is being staked into the pool. The vast majority of the money goes straight to builders and architects and validators. And also some of that will be paid out as a passive income to all NFT holders. But the platform also takes a percentage of the overall budget, and so that it could pay for expenses and then for other items. So
Right.
this isn't too different from, let's say, for those of you who are familiar with this type of experience. If you go to Mechanical Turk, same thing. They will the Mechanical Turk will take a little fee but that's more of a two-sided marketplace. If you join, let's say, Scale.ai, then Scale.ai also charges their AI clients as well. So we take a similar approach. And one thing that's really unique about our token economics is that we are based on real yield system. So we don't have an inflationary system, because what comes in as a revenue is what AI companies pays us. What goes out is the payment to all the builders and validators and architects, and then the platform.
Right.
And in exchange for that, AI companies receive data from our the workers. So accounting-wise, it's a very clean credit debit revenue expense. There's no funny money going in. There's no Ponzi type of economics.
Ponzonomics.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, like as a crypto company, we all know that the project can just print money and then give that away, and then kind of book that as whatever, right? But there's no corresponding value to kind of counter that. Our system is just the pure accounting, credit debit. Like there's a payment by the AI company, and then we pay majority of that out to our workers. The whole thing is on blockchain. So through SoulScan, you can see all the transactions, and then the AI companies receive their data.
Awesome. That's good. That's the beauty of blockchain right there.
Yeah.
Public, verifiable, information that anybody can actually research and verify. So yeah, that's definitely interesting. I'm glad you guys came to the AMA to explain your project. I think it's a very promising project. Just listening to it, like I said, I'm really bullish on what you guys do, especially looking at the AI narrative right now. With ChatGPT, OpenAI, I think this is a perfect time for you guys to launch your project. So thank you so much for stopping by today, Joshua and Leo, for explaining Synesis One to our audience.
Sure.
All right. Now we will move to the next and kind of wrapping things up here a little bit. I know we're kind of running late on time. We will do some Q&A, but before we do that, we'd like to also announce that we are still doing the quiz. You can still win 50 USDT for when you answer a question correctly. The question that was posed today was, what is the official launch date for the BitMart NFT marketplace, and how many blockchains does it currently support? So if you can provide an answer and use the hashtag BitMart off the chain in your answer, you're going to increase your chances of winning. Again, I want to thank all speakers for sharing their knowledge with us today. Definitely an insightful discussion. One last thing, we will move to a brief Q&A session. Unfortunately, due to time constraints, we can only do one question today from our audience. And the question that we actually collected was, are NFT gating and lifetime passes for a new crypto startup worth it? So yeah, if any of our speakers can answer that question for our audience, that would be really appreciated. So the question is, are NFT gating and lifetime passes for a crypto startup worth it?
I guess we'll jump in and say it depends on the startup, of course. In the case of what we're building, NFT gates access to the exclusive content, as I mentioned, where the utility is to access the content. And so if you are able to get a lifetime of, say, a Web3 Netflix, I think that is exciting. So I think it, to think of it as transferable access to exclusive access rights, ownership, in our case of television and streaming content, films, but in other startups, it might be to something else. So yeah, I think it just depends on the nature of what you're getting lifetime access to. That's the important part, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Getting like a lifetime access to Netflix or like a movie streaming platform, that's definitely valuable. And especially if maybe the lifetime pass actually gives you like an access to go meet the actors and actresses of that particular TV show. That's something that's definitely going to be valuable if you try to sell that in the open market.
Right. In real life or in VR?
Yeah, both. Why not? So yeah, thank you, Chris. Very insightful. Thank you for stepping up and answering that question for us. Really appreciate it. And all right, that's all the time we have for today's Twitter Space. Once again, I want to thank all the speakers for taking the time today to provide us great insight on how NFTs are actually disrupting the traditional business models. And also thank you for all our audience for attending today's AMA. Have a lovely day, and when we hope to see you on our next AMA. Take care, everyone.
Yeah, thank you for making the time, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Take care, everybody.